from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is time to get an update about the sister wives, and we just got cued in to a huge reason why they are so broke. And it all comes down to insurance and them not taking it out. And we all have an idea that this family has been like busting their butts trying to pay off whatever it is that they can, and they're going on to Facebook and they're doing cameos, and Christine has been like nonstop trying to raise money for a deductible she says she needs for a procedure, and she has humongous amounts of debt. And apparently during her latest Facebook Live where she was doing another sale, which she has been doing multiple per day, sometimes 2 sales a day, Janelle has even gone in and has started helping her sell. And she told people that there's a debt that she might not pay back because it all comes back to Truly. So she was talking about how, you know, she's doing all of this to raise money for the $50,000 copay for her other daughter. But she says that back in 2014, Truly, who was then 3 years old, ended up going to the emergency room because she was sick. And they thought it was initially the flu, but it actually turned out to be a kidney infection that was very serious. And because of this, she had to be hospitalized for 11 days. And during that time, she required very intensive care. And so she said that while she was there, Truly had no insurance. So she had a 3-year-old daughter, and she has 5 other children, so 6 kids. Imagine this. She had 6 kids, and she had no insurance for any of these kids. No health insurance, nothing. And she said that she didn't have a means to pay for this 11 days in the hospital. And by the time that she actually was done, she got a bill, and it was like $450,000 for Truly's 11-day visit in the hospital. And she says that she even talks to Truly about how expensive the hospital stay was and tells her that it's okay, I don't care how much this is, this, you know, it's worth it because you're alive. So she's paying off this debt still from 2014 apparently. And she didn't have insurance, and now she has health insurance. And so she said she learned a lot because she has health insurance now, and she wouldn't make that same mistake again. But like, what the heck? Like, why didn't they have health insurance? This doesn't make sense to me. They were on the show in 2010. They had tons of money coming in at this time. They should have had money set aside in order for them to be able to pay for health insurance. They bought and built humongous homes during the same exact time. This is when all of their stuff, when they started moving to Vegas and building these $500,000 and $600,000 homes, and you know, driving their Lexuses and their Infinities, but they couldn't pay for health insurance for their kids, not even through the marketplace, because the ACA was passed by 2014. So at what point did they just say, we're not going to have health insurance at all? So their priorities were these very expensive houses, but not having health insurance for their kids? How is that even possible? And if, like, I'm sure before the show they might have been using Medicaid, but they didn't have any any public services during that time. And she tells Truly, and her response to Truly according to SoapDirt is that she tells Truly it's okay, she's worth that money. That's a lot of guilt to put on a kid. I mean, I know she's being nice and she's trying to like let Truly know like it's not that big of a deal, but to even tell your kid that they have this big bill that's because of them, that's gonna automatically feel like that kid is responsible. Like, we're in so much debt because of what happened to me when I was 3. It's all my fault that my mom has no money. It's all my fault that my mom's working on the reality show and has all of this stuff going on with Cameo and this and that, and to a point where you feel like this family is in such bad financial shape. And people that were in the live apparently were not happy about that. One person just wrote and said, I'm just watching Christine on her live selling site, and she was saying that Truly was sick and she had no insurance, and the bill was $450,000. She said someone from finance kept going in to speak to her, and Christine said, I said my daughter is not going to make it, so please leave me alone. So while her daughter is like so sick, they need to figure out how she's going to pay for everything, and she can't even talk about it because obviously she doesn't have insurance. And so she's continually apparently getting calls, still about making payments on this debt. And what's even worse here is that during the same time that Truly would have been sick, this is around the same time that Kody decides that he's going to divorce Mary and that he was going to marry Robin. And the biggest reason was so that they could get on his insurance. So Kody cared more about insurance for Robin than he seemed to care about insurance for his daughter, Truly. I mean, think of this context. He insures the children that he has with Robin, but he does not insure any of his other children. Tell me that hierarchy isn't effed up. I mean, come on, you guys. Like, he has 15 kids that are his biologicals, and then he has 3 adopted children, and it was more important to him that he would be able to provide health insurance to his adoptive children that he had, that obviously were not biologically his, that were just the new wife's children. But then he had 6 kids with another woman who had no health insurance. Like, where? And no wonder Christine has long-seated issues with Robin. I mean, she was the 3rd wife. She was supposedly supposed to be the favorite. Long before they had the show, they utilized welfare, and I believe they had food stamps, and the kids probably had Medicaid. And then by getting famous, obviously, they would have had to go into the private market to get insurance. And obviously, when you are self-employed, you have to use like a public market. Like we have public markets here that we pick. It's called Minsure, and they're expensive, and the deductibles are high. But there's still ways to actually get your child covered. But they just opted not to pay for those deductibles because why? I don't get it. Like, you could build these big houses, but you couldn't afford health insurance. You could divorce marry Robin, have a massive wedding, do all of these things, travel, spend so freely. And then when your children actually need help with things like, say, car insurance or having health insurance, these aren't priorities. This is on a level that is so messed up to me, I can't even comprehend it. And I guess fans were not even happy about this either. They were giving her all kinds of like flack for this. Like, why would you not have insurance? Like, right? And so at least she's learned her lesson that she has insurance, but she clearly hasn't learned her lesson because the insurance policy that she has is obviously bottom of the barrel. Their priorities are not to spend anything on wellness. It's clearly not to spend money on healthcare or car insurance because they have to pay up the Yahoo in Vegas for a car accident out of pocket. So we might think polygamy is not affecting us as a society, but it is, because there are dads that are having tons of kids that they can't afford, and then all of that falls back on the wife. And then the wife can't afford it because she's taking care of all of his kids. And so they end up using services. They end up putting their kids in risky situations like Truly. Like, they're not going to not treat Truly. But that debt is never, it could get paid if they would just stop buying property. And so you're telling me also, during the middle of all of this, having this debt, you've decided to move to Arizona, buy another house. Christine has a $500,000 home, but then she can't get health insurance for her kids. I don't understand this. And fans couldn't either. And I'm glad that she has insurance now, but truly, like, there has to be a way that this family learns that this is not, do you think they could ever figure out this is not a way to live? And what do you think about this? Are you shocked to hear that Truly had no health insurance and that she still has this debt? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.